Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to take your embroidery thread from the skein or skein and wind it onto a bobbin, hopefully without getting any tangles. Embroidery thread does tangle really easily, so as soon as it bunches up like this or you tug on it, it tends to clump up and it's hard to unwork the tangles. So what we want to do with our skein of thread is to first slip off the paper labels, and you should be able to gently open up the thread so that it forms a nice circle or loop. Now if you have a few parts that are kind of a little twisted, that's okay. You might be able to untwist them or see which side of the circle they're supposed to be on. But as much as you can, we want this to be like one nice continuous loop. And that way, when we start to unwind it from this, things just go a little more smoothly. Now at this stage, avoid tugging on the thread and instead just gently unwind it from the loop. And then we're going to take our plastic bobbin and just kind of hold the end of the thread and start wrapping it around to fill up the bobbin, so that in the end we get a bobbin that is filled nice and neat like this. So at first you need to hold the tail down, and then at a certain point you should be good to just start wrapping. Now be careful that you don't tug too hard on this side, so as soon as you start to feel like it's getting into your loop here, we can go back and just start unwinding a little bit more, and then we can put that onto our bobbin. You can unwind the whole thing at once if you really want, but then you still run the risk of things getting tangled. So I try to just do a little bit at a time, and then wind it around my bobbin. And then once I get close to the rest, I'll start to unwind a little bit more. So we're going to keep going. And one other good thing that I find helpful is if you just keep this around one hand, drape it around so that you can maintain that circle. You can see this part here. This is actually supposed to be on the other side there. Or if you have like a water bottle or something like that, you can just drape this over the water bottle, and that sometimes helps make sure that this doesn't get too bunched up. So just keep working this around your bobbin until you get to the end. And that's my cat. She is very curious whenever I'm doing crafts and sewing. And then once you do get to the end, the part on either side here, these little notches, this is optional, but if you wanted to take the tail and just wrap it a couple of times around there, that kind of helps to hold it in place so that it's not gonna unravel on you. So you can see this one is wrapped a couple times along the edge here. And then you can just unravel it from the rest of the bobbin. And that is basically how to manually wind your embroidery thread onto the bobbin.